Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. So today's session is primarily focused on FRM Level 1 July 2021 preparation strategy. Okay, I know a lot of people might have already started with their preparation, but there might be few of our friends who have not yet started their preparation. So I'm going to be laying out some basic steps that which they can follow, some order of preparation, and few important concepts. How should they plan their timeline? So that is going to be the main agenda. Okay, so this video is for those also who are going to be starting out the preparation today, or somebody who's already started out few months back or few weeks back. Okay, so what is going to be our agenda for today's discussion? Okay, we're going to be talking about, first, if you have already started out with your strategy, then how should you go about, how should you plan your months? Okay, then we'll also be talking about those friends who have not yet started their preparation because of some XYZ commitment. They would like to start their preparation now for their July exam. So we're going to be talking about their strategy also in detail, which is also going to be useful for the first category of candidates. Okay, in that strategy, we're going to be giving you flow of chapter which you can prepare it. Okay, now the flow is primarily created in such a way that you focus on the important chapters first, which will help you to clear the exam fast. Okay, next, we're going to be also giving you some 5-6 important concepts which I feel the exam might ask in this July exam. So you should be focusing on that concept, and also some important tips which you can focus on to prepare for the exam. Okay, let us start with the first set of candidates who might have already started their preparation, and they have done, say, out of total 60 chapter which is there for your level 1 exam. Suppose you guys have already started and completed, say, 10, 12, 20 chapters. Okay, at a broader level, what you should ideally be focusing on is that this is the timeline that I've created for you. Now make sure that you have completed by end of May reading of all the chapters and solving of the chapter wise questions. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people might have gone through the coaching institutes. A lot of people might be preparing on their own. They might be using Bionic Turtle, Analyst Prep, or any other material. But please make sure, if you want to clear the exam in a smooth way, please make sure that by the end of May you completely solve the question bank for each chapter wise part. If suppose by any reason you're not able to complete, do not worry, try to complete it by at least 10th of April. Okay, now let us assume that you've already completed, okay, already completed the May end barrier, and you've completely done the question bank solving and the reading. Then what you should be focusing on is that the revision piece. Okay, now the revision piece is very important, because the more you read the content, and especially the theory part, which is going to be tested heavily in your exam. Okay, and when I'm saying theory reading, I'm not only referring about reading from the Swagger, I'm also asking you to go through the question bank. So when I'm referring about revision, okay, you ideally, how should you go about and do the revision? You should go with the chapter, go through Swagger or BT, whatever material that you are using, and make sure to go through the question banks also again, because when you would have solved your question bank, you would have identified few difficult chapters for each question which you could not solve. Now the idea is that when you do the revision, you make sure that you go through those content also as a refresher. Okay, because in the exam, okay, as per the latest trend that we have seen, questions related to quant will be slightly less, around 30 out of 100. That is what we have seen now, but the rest 70 is going to be theory. Okay, that is where your strength of reading a lot of content, okay, and analyzing the content and answering the content will be checked. Okay, so that is why I'm recommending you to go for 2 revisions. When you do the first revision, okay, make sure to go and solve the sectional test. When I'm saying sectional test, I'm talking about the entire book. So we have 4 books for FRM level 1. Okay, 4 books for FRM level 1. Please make sure that you read the entire book or do the entire revision of that book in one go, and then you go and solve some question which is comprising of that entire book. Okay, so do that sectional solving in the first 15-20 days. Now you might be feeling that it is a very tight deadline to complete 15 entire curriculum in 15 days, but you will have to do it, because at the end when you go for the exam, Okay, at the end when you go for exam, you have to read the entire 60 chapter together. Okay, so please guys, don't make any excuses over here. Make sure to go and revise and do at least one sectional test. Okay, now I have been very optimistic when I've put this timeline. What I've done is I've given time for the second revision also. Okay, now suppose you completed your second revision by 20th of April. I'm just taking some random date. Okay, and you have very less time to till the end of 15th of June. So you till the less you have very less time till the end of June. So what you can do is you can only focus on those important chapters, okay, from at each book. Okay, so I'll be talking about that in the later part of the chapters also, the later part of the session also, what important chapter we can focus on. Okay, and finally from here, end of June till the exam date, okay, end of June till the exam date, please make sure to solve mock papers. Okay, many of the students who are not been able to completely read the curriculum or don't get time to do a revision, they directly go to mock papers, right? But at least one revision and then go for a mock paper, that would be really helpful for your exam. That is why I've mentioned you do the revision, entire 60 chapter ka revision as per your comfortable, take 3 4 5 days and do the mock. Okay, and solve at least 2 to 3 mocks properly. Solve at least 2 to 3 mocks properly. Okay, I know a lot of people might be having queries. They can put it on the comment section. I'll be answering to them as in when I get some opportunity to talk, or else I'll be taking the queries at the end. Do not worry, please make sure that you post your queries on the comments or the live chat. Okay, now this was done, or the timeline was done keeping into consideration if you had already started something, and today from 8th April till the end of May, you have around 2 months and you would be able to complete the entire reading. Okay, now let me take you to a situation. Suppose you're going to be starting out fresh today, okay, and you want to prepare for the exam, for July exam. And how do you do it? Let us talk about that. Okay, my strategy is to read the heavy weighted book first, that is book 3 and book 4, that is financial markets and products and the valuation. Okay, and I'm directly taking you towards the important chapter. How should you start the preparation? Make sure to complete the entire bunch of forwards and futures. I've highlighted the name of the chapters, forward and future, in one go. Okay, and solve the question bank. Okay, now when you're solving the question bank, focus on important chapters. I'm going to highlight those important chapters out of the entire bunch of forward and futures. Okay, the most important chapter is this, using futures for hedging. In that you will find optimal hedge ratio, portfolio adjustment beta. Now these questions, they have been asking in the exam time and again, so please make sure that you go through this chapter definitely. Okay, now out and again, pricing financial and forwards is also an important chapter from this entire bunch of forward and future. Now why am I referring to this? Because you will see in the exam there will be some calculation driven question which are going to be asking you to find the forward price if there is an income, find the forward price if there is an yield, contango, backwardation. So those concept has to be there. Okay, so make sure to complete the forward and futures ka bunch in one go. Okay, then you move towards the option, which is also a 4 chapter series. Okay, and out of that 4 chapters, okay, when you're solving the question bank, please make sure that you focus on the question bank. Okay, focus on the question bank of at least these chapters, which is first is properties of option. Put call parity is very important concept. You should be sure about that, the usage of it, what is the implication, you should be sure about that. Then you'll also find lower bounds for options, the lower pricing bound, that is also tested in the exam. When we talk about trading strategy, okay, you should be these 2 chapters, trading strategy and properties of option, very high chances that in the option, when they want to test you in the option category, they might ask a lot of questions related to these 2 chapters. Okay, so please make sure you complete this bunch, and once you're done with these 9 chapters, you would realize that you've almost completed your book 3, which is financial markets and products, and which is having a 30% ka weightage in the exam. Okay, so at least you'll be mentally free that I've covered the major content of this of book 3. Okay, and then I can move towards book 4, and in book 4 also I am asking you to immediately go towards option pricing. There are 3 chapters related to option pricing, and out of which there is heavy chance that they might ask you questions related to Black-Scholes model, okay, the basic formula of the Black-Scholes model which can get tested, and binomial tree. These two chapters, binomial tree valuation methodology, is important. Okay, so these concept should ideally be solving a lot of question when you go towards this bunch of option pricing. Okay, make sure to have that clarity in mind. Okay, now option pricing, once you have completed this first three set of this option pricing, let us quickly go towards the next set. Now ideally you should be focusing on your book 4. Okay, but the problem is, if I want to solve the VAR chapter, okay, I would need some background about quant, and that's the reason I'm asking you to go and solve few important chapters from the statistics. I'm not directly asking you to go and solve hypothesis or linear regression or complete book 2, because you might not have that much amount of time, and VAR is important. Okay, so to complete VAR, you would first go into statistics and focus. I've given you the bunch of statistics ka chapter, which are a 5 chapter, but I want you to focus on 2 or 3 chapters only, which are very, very important. So basically it's random variable, common univariate random variable, and multivariate random variable. Okay, now these 3 chapters, if you have done properly, then you can go directly to the VAR concept. There is no problem doing it. There is no problem, because probability and sample movement, very small concepts are related to VAR. Okay, so major component is there. Okay, so if you're able to complete the entire statistics bunch, well and good, there's no problem with that. If you have time, please do it. But if you do not have time, make sure you complete those 3 chapters and move ahead. When you look at the other in book 1 important chapters, now I've specifically highlighted, I've taken only few chapters from book 1 which I feel they would be testing you heavily. Okay, the first one is modern portfolio theory, CAPM related, efficient frontier related, CAPM related, SML related questions will be there in the exam. Okay, so next part is arbitrage pricing theory. Now from the portfolio management section, these 2 chapters are related to portfolio management, but when you look at this chapter of arbitrage pricing theory, I don't see many questions coming from this chapter. Okay, so obviously this chapter is important, modern portfolio theory and GARP code of conduct. You would expect 1 to 2 question definitely coming from this chapter. This is the sole reason this chapter is there in your curriculum, because they want to ask you questions related to it in the exam as a part of the ethical behavior of a risk manager. Okay, learning from disaster is very, very important. LTCM case, Baring Banks case is very, very important, which it does get normally tested. Okay, so from this bunch, if you have time, do the entire thing, or else make sure the modern portfolio theory, GARF code of conduct, and learning from financial disaster you should be completing. Do not worry about it. Okay, next is VAR and volatility. VAR and volatility. Okay, so these 3 chapters are important. Please don't miss it. Please don't miss it. Historical simulation, delta normal VAR calculation is generally tested. Then expected shortfall related, you can expect some theory question to come. Expected shortfall related. Okay, and that is primarily in your second part, calculating and applying VAR methodology. Okay, so VAR is important for your exam, because first it is the core concept of risk management. Second, it is a part of the book 4, which is evaluation and risk model. Right, so this is the way you can focus on. What I've done is I've given you the buckets, but I've also told you which chapter is important. Now after VAR, you can focus on bond valuation. I've given you the entire bunch of bond valuation. Okay, but in this chapter, okay, in this bunch, I've added 2 chapters from book 3, which is properties of interest rate and interest rate futures. Now when you do the entire bond valuation, okay, make sure that you focus on these 2-3 chapters. There you will expect heavy questions coming in. The first is this DV01 related chapter. Okay, you can see some questions related to DV01 coming in the exam. Okay, then interest rate futures chapter is also very, very important. Clean price, dirty price, the accrued interest component, they will generally test. If you have time, okay, then definitely read the entire bond valuation chunk. But if you don't have time, okay, then at least do these 2 chapters properly. okay, and the bond yield and return calculation chapter. So these three chapters you should ideally be able to complete before the exam in a worst case situation. Okay, then you can go towards hypothesis and regression chapter. Now I've given the entire bunch of 4 chapters for the regression and hypothesis, but from the exam perspective, where I see the testing can be heavily done is this, the first chapter and the last chapter. Okay, regression diagnostic, you have multicollinearity concept which can generally be tested. Okay, now till now I've stopped the order of flow because my thought process was, if you have time, if you have limited amount of time, how many chapters you should at least complete. Okay, I know that in the book 2 there are few chapters at the bottom which talks about stationary time series methodology. Then you also have simulation related chapter. Now my idea is that if you do not have time, don't enter into those chapters. First of all, those chapters are related to modeling which a normal student might not be able to correlate. Okay, that is one part. Second part is, even if there is some question coming out of that content, okay, you should be looking at those chapters at the end. Okay, don't worry about it in the beginning. Focus on this order plan. Okay, because book 3 and book 4 is very very important. You should focus on that book first, and then obviously your book 1 and book 2. You would have also seen I have not taken major concepts or major chapter from book 1 because I've only focused on important chapters. If you have time, then definitely go and read those chapters, right? Ankit, I hope I've answered your query from the chat section. Chandan, I'll be coming to your query regarding the BCom examination at the end. Okay, let us talk about the time management and the important milestone that you can keep. That means the buckets that we have created. How should you plan your buckets? Okay, how should you plan your buckets? Today is 8th of April, right? Till the end of April, make sure that you complete these futures, option and option pricing, right, along with solving. Okay, so you have around 20-22 days which you can focus on complete. That's not very difficult. Okay, it's almost around 12 chapters which you can complete. Okay, then the remaining bunch you can focus by the end of May, in 1 month. Okay, now why am I asking you to solve these chapters focus and properly? Because these are important topics which can get tested in the exam. Now for the remaining buckets, okay, which was VAR, statistics, okay, you should be able to move thoda fast and focus on those important chapters only. Okay, now by the end of May, I'm being a bit optimistic over here. Okay, if suppose you're not able to complete the portion, then don't worry. Okay, complete everything by 15th of June. Complete everything by 15th of June and then do the revision. Okay, then do the revision. Then you will have to do the revision very fast. But if suppose you are able to complete everything by May end, okay, then do the remaining theory chapters, because I have not taken some chapters from book 3, which is financial markets and products. I have not highlighted chapters from your book 1. Now you should be focusing on those theory chapters now. Quickly read it, make sure to grasp as much as possible. Okay, and start the revision of the buckets which you have completed. Start the revision of futures, option valuation, VAR, statistics, all of those chapters from the 1st of June. Okay, so this is where your two preparation will continue. First is the theory chapter which you did not read the first time. This is the first reading that you're doing, and second is going to be revision of those chapters. Okay, now if suppose you're not able to complete everything by May end, then you should be ideally able to complete by 15th of June, and then you have around 15 days to do the complete revision. And after 15th of June, end of June, you can go ahead and do the mock paper solving. Now there is some question. Okay, Sam, he's asking if Schweser is a right book to go ahead and do or prepare. Yes, Schweser is a decent book. Don't worry about it. I know a lot of people are referring to BT or Wiley. Okay, Schweser is a decent and good book. You would be able to completely clear the exam relying on that book. But make sure to solve the question bank, which is a bit different, because Schweser question bank is easy. Because the exam level is not going to be the Schweser question bank. It's going to be 1 level or 2 level above it. Okay, so Schweser is easy, Sam. Don't worry about it. You can go ahead and prepare based Schweser. I've been training students for FRM, and I've trained students only on Schweser, and they've cleared the exam. So that is happening. Don't worry. Okay. Now 5 important concepts which I feel that July exam might test. Okay, the first one is swaps. Okay, so swap is there. I forgot to add that chapter in the list of tracker, but swap is an important chapter. But in that chapter there's a lot of theoretical concept. The main part is how do you value a swap. Okay, it can be a plain vanilla swap or it can be cross currency swap. So if they want to keep the paper bit easy, they will give you cross currency swap, okay, in terms of the calculation piece. Okay, and if they want to make it slightly difficult, they will give you the plain vanilla swap, because in plain vanilla swap you have to do some calculation related to floating rate and all of that. So this is what I feel will generally get tested in the exam. Then two-step binomial tree. Two-step binomial tree calculation, it can be American option also. Okay, right? But in the exam, in one of the exams previously before COVID, I've seen institute asking one step binomial tree, which is very, very simple. So I'm expecting bit difficult might come, and binomial tree is one chapter binomial theorem that where you can expect the questions to come. Okay, so that is also you should be very focusing on. Optimal hedge ratio, like I said, using futures for hedging chapter. This one formula is very, very important because it's a base, okay, on the basis of which you will do the hedging using futures. So I expect the institute to ask you questions on this. Then there is mortgage and mortgage backs related chapter. I have not added that chapter because I want you to focus. If you don't have time, it's a lengthy chapter, don't worry about it. Go through the at least the question part, which is the CPR SMM question, okay, that you can focus on. And finally DV01, which I mentioned previously, the chapter which was related to duration convexity wala chapter, which is related to parallel shift. Make sure that you go through the DV01 formula. It's hedging also. Okay, these are the 5 important concepts which I feel that it will get tested in the exam. Next is some quick tips. Okay, when you're reading the chapter or when you're revising the chapter, make sure you focus on those important topics, because while doing revision you might not have the luxury of time and you might have to complete the entire 60 chapters in 10 days along with your work also, right? So 10 days or 12 days. So make sure you read the important chapter properly. Okay, the one which I had mentioned in my table, or further you can preferably have created a list of chapters which you feel you should go again. Then those four chapters should be there, and specifically chapters from book 3 and book 4 are important because it is high weightage. GARP sample paper. A lot of students who go for the exam, okay, they don't solve the GARP sample paper. Make sure the latest one you solve those sample papers properly, because I have heard from students that few of the questions that they solved from the sample papers, similar type of question have come in the exam. Okay, so you might see 2 or 3 questions in the exam related to it, and which will help you to clear the exam, which might help you to clear the exam. Okay, so GARP sample paper definitely, and treat that as a mock. Okay, don't just normally go and solve it. Treat that as a mock, allocate time to it, and see how good you are in that exam. Okay, now if you're revising fast, okay, if you want to complete the content, then what I would suggest is don't solve every question. Okay, you'll have to play smart. Okay, because if you keep on solving every question on the calculator, then it will take a lot of time. Make sure to see the question, understand what has been asked, which formula has been asked, see if you know, if you remember the formula, go to the answer and then check. Okay, because till this point of time you should ideally be confident on your calculator skills. Okay, then before the exam you should ideally be solving at least 2 to 3 mocks, including the GARP sample paper. Okay, this will give you an hang of solving the entire bunch together. It will definitely be very, very helpful. Okay, now some of the students, they face the problem that they don't remember theory. Okay, so what they should be ideally doing is at least 1 month before the exam or 1.5 months before the exam, depending upon their preparation, what they can do is they can bifurcate all the theory chapters from that 60 chapters. Okay, and just go through those chapters at the end of the day, just 10-15 minutes, just read it. Okay, make sure to read at least 1 chapter per day. Okay, so this will help you to go through the content of theory at least twice before the exam, and you will have more confidence in the exam. This is what I've seen people worrying a lot. They don't remember theory. They don't remember the formula. They remember the calculation. Remember, guys, in the exam, there is high chances that it is going to be heavy theory based. Okay, they will try to give you theory question and asking you questions related to your understanding of the concept. Okay, hence I'm asking you to read the theory content a lot. Okay, even if there is a chapter which has some content related to questions, but apart from that there is some theory part, you can go and read just like that. Okay, so these are the few quick tips which I feel that it will be helpful for your exam. I'll be going towards the question which Harsheen has. Which question bank will be preferable? See, I would not suggest BT, because BT is bit heavy in terms of content, because they have taken reference from author's book. If you are not in a position, if you have not done a heavy preparation, then I would not suggest BT. I would not suggest BT. Okay, Swagger is, you can use Swagger, but Swagger is not up to the mark. Okay, so you can use either Analyst Prep. I also provide question bank, so you can take that also. But BT, there is particular reason that I'm not specifying it, because if you start solving BT and you're not getting the answers, then it will be a demoralizing situation. Okay, and a lot of people generally leave their study because of it, and they look for opportunities to defer the exam. Okay, that's the reason I'm explicitly not asking you to go to BT. Right, Harsheen? Now, there's one more question from Shoaib. How many hours should I sit to complete the whole FRM within the end of this month? You have done with half of quant and half of and few from FMP. Okay, so I would suggest, if you have luxury of time and if you want to complete fast, okay, then dedicate 5 to 6 hours at least. Because the problem is not about reading, the problem is about solving question bank. And if you're not solving question bank, then you will not get the confidence. Okay, so question bank solving is an integral part. Okay, and that is going to take more of your time, not the reading piece. You might understand the concept, but solving the question bank is going to be a pain. So you have to dedicate some time. So at least 6 to 7 hours time ideally you should be having, right, on a daily basis, if you're planning to complete it by May end. I'm assuming you're going for July. Shoaib, right? I have answered your query. Harshina, I have also answered your query. Ankit is asking, I have time till 15th of April, then should I go for book 3 and book 4 and then book 2? So I'm assuming that you're going for the May exam, okay, May 2021 exam, right? Then you should focus on book 3 first while you're revising book 4, and then depending upon your comfort level, either book 1 or book 2. That is fine. Okay. Now, but the revision of book 3 and book 4, why important? Because if you are getting a good quartile in that book and not able to get so much good quartile in book 2 and book 1, you would still be able to clear the exam. Okay. Now, there's one more query from one of the participant. What should be the strategy for last month of the exam? I'll be coming up with that video also. Don't worry. I'll be taking a few more live sessions also. So we'll be talking about that in detail, because this will take some time to discuss. Okay, so don't worry, I'll be coming up with that video. Now I'll give you a brief introduction about what our institute is doing. We do train for FRM and CFA candidates. Currently we are taking live sessions online, okay, for students who wish to prepare for November exam. Okay, we also do give recorded sessions for video, and also we do provide a question bank and other materials also for your preparation. Now I'll be coming up with more sessions in this week for you guys to prepare well. Now I'll be coming up with one session talking about how to tackle how to tackle quant. Okay, in that session I'm going to be focusing on, if you want to revise the content, or how should you go about picking the content from that book. Okay, and how should you do the revision once you have done with the entire reading. Okay, so one session I've explicitly kept for quant. Then I'm also going to do how to revise the FRM FMP book. Okay, and I'm going to talk about important concepts from each chapter in this series of sessions. Okay, so which is going to be there. Okay, then I'm also going to be keeping one session of a foundation, the first book, and again there's going to be one session on valuation and risk model. So please make sure you subscribe to our channel, and you will get the notification whenever I come live, and I'll be taking those sessions. I'll be answering to query, don't worry. I'll be answering to your query. I think so, Chandan, your query is pending. Uh, so Chandan, answering to your query is, can you start your preparation for FRM when you're in the first year of graduation, BCom? You can start the preparation. My suggestion would be you give the exam when you're in the second year, the level 1 exam, and then level 2 exam, okay, in the third year. The reason being, once you have completed level 2, okay, you have to go and give, you have to work, you have to give, submit the 2 year work experience within a time for 4 years, right? If you complete level 2 in your second year, you would lose that 1 year. That's the reason, make sure you start the preparation now, but give the exam in second year of your college, the level 1 and level 2 in the third year, and then you can immediately start the job and get the 2 year experience and complete the requirement. I hope I've answered your query, Chandan, right? Sam, in case of query related to the batch starting, kindly WhatsApp on this number which is available on the screen. My team will help you to, will guide you on that. Raj is having a query. What percentage of my answers should be correct in the exam? That's a very good question. Now, out of 100 questions, assuming that you've solved correctly across the book, okay, then 70 to 75 is what number I've seen people be. If they have got this right, then you should be able to clear the exam. Yes, and when you go for the exam, ideally, okay, this has been in the paper pencil exam, but now the exam is computer based. Out of 100 questions, normal student or average students are able to solve properly around 85 to 90 or to 95 maximum. Okay, there are some questions you have to take some calculated guess, or you are just taking it out because you don't have time. Okay, even though the book, the exam might not be quantitative heavy, but it is going to be lengthy. Okay, so you can expect to solve around 85 to 90 properly, and then 10 question you have to just take the guess, or you have to take the calculated guess. Right, Raj, I've answered your query. Chandan, answering to your query, it is very difficult to remember the formula, I know, but try to understand the concept of the formula. That will make your life a bit easy. Why this formula is coming? I'm not talking about derivative, but some basic concept. For example, the Black-Scholes model. Okay, it is as good as your S0 minus K ka present value, right? But only thing is that ND1, which is coming in between ND1 and ND2, right, for the call option, right? That is nothing but probability. Okay, so I'm trying to tell you that if you able to remember the concept of behind the formula, that is really helpful. Or is what you can do is, there is Swagger ka quick sheet which is generally available. Okay, if you do not have, you can put a WhatsApp on this number. We'll be happy to share you that quick sheet with you, which has all the formula you can revise. So what you should be doing is, if you're going for July exam, the moment you complete your May, the first reading, from the next day, make sure you spend 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening just going through the formula. Don't worry about the chapter, don't worry about the exam, just go through the formula. Okay, because remember, a lot of students don't remember the formula in the exam. Okay, and they end up goofing up in the answer. I hope, Chandan, I have answered your query. Venkatesh, what was the pass percentage January 2021 exam? Pass percentage was very good. Okay, because people, I think so, a lot of people didn't appear for the exam. They paid the fees, they did not defer, and they did not go for the exam. I think so they got, the students also got the benefit out of that. But ideally, the number of students being less, the competition was also very less in the exam, and that's the reason I think so pass percentage was very good. I don't remember the number. I'll have to go and check the GARP website if they've released it. But as per my experience talking to students, I've seen a lot of students clearing the exam in January. Okay, so I think so. If the question is related to CFA, what you can do is you can WhatsApp on this number and we'll try to address it. Okay. Vihang is having a query. Is GARP sample paper and Fintelligent mock paper right combination to solve? Yes. So you can use our question mock papers, but make sure you solve the at least one sample paper, latest one. Now there is slight problem with the GARP sample paper. The 2020 ka sample paper and 2019 sample paper is almost same. Only the numbers have changed. Okay, but at least go through those question bank in a quick manner if you don't have time. So to answer your query, my question bank and your GARP sample question bank is good enough. Don't worry about it. Yes, Ankit, this video will be available on the YouTube. You can access it after the exam also. Uh, Shoaib, I think so. There's no much queries. Then I will answer your query. Okay, so you had a question that you have CFA in November. So how can I correlate the few topics which are CFA and FRM together by the end of May? You have July 16 FRM exam. See, if you're going for FRM in July and CFA in November, it is going to be beneficial for you. The reason being, you can count around 35 to 40% content same for CFA level 1. In fact, the content that you're going to see in CFA level FRM level 1 is also going to be there in your CFA level 2. Okay, the reason being, the derivative valuation, the option pricing valuation that you are going to do in FRM level 1, the regression that you're going to do, everything is going to come in your CFA level 2. Okay, so ideally what you should be doing is, once you complete your FRM level 1 exam, go and read the CFA content which is similar, and at least complete that syllabus in 1 month's time, because it is fresh. Complete the solving. Okay. Yes, Alek, I'm answering to your query. The condensed strategy, okay, the one which I mentioned, wherein you can complete all the important chapters in the gap of around 1.5 month by May end, or for example 2 months. Yes, this is kept keeping in mind that the majority of the students go for the exam along with their job. Okay, so this is the strategy is for them. Don't worry. So I'm answering to your question. A lot of people, a lot of students are also asking me whether the May exam is going to get cancelled. I would say don't worry about it. How much difference it is going to make? Okay, you have to prepare for the exam, the May exam. Okay, go and do your best. Okay, I feel that it is very less chance that the exam might cancel. Okay, get cancelled, because they are conducting the other exam. So definitely May and July, both FRM exam will be there. So don't worry about it. Prepare and do your best. Okay. Chandan, answering to your query, if you're going for November exam, then ideally till June, you can put in 1.5 hour at least on a daily basis, and then you have to increase it to 2.5 hour. That would be my suggestion. Okay, Chandan. There is one more query from Venkatesh. I'm answering to his query, Venkatesh. So you're appearing for July FRM July exam, and you've completed 45 reading. Still, I don't have the confidence of clearing the exam. Have you solved questions? If you have not solved question bank, then this is the major problem that you might face. Okay, a lot of students are only reading. They feel that they will solve the question bank in the last 1 month. This doesn't happen. Okay, and FRM is not the exam that how you should go about. Okay, so if you have not solved the question bank, then I think so this is the major problem that you would face. Swedger end of the chapter question, Alek, answering to your query, Swedger end of the chapter are very easy. You should do it, but you should not rely on that. They are very easy. Okay, any more questions? I'll be there. Don't worry, for a few more minutes. In case you have questions, you can post it on chat. Any questions related to the exam? For specific book related strategy, we'll be having sessions in this week also. The timing is 9:30 p.m. I'll be live on YouTube for you guys to solve, and I'm planning to take few sessions also, some summaries or some revision sessions also. Any more questions, guys? Alek, I've answered your query. Chandan is having a query. How many questions out of 100 will be numerical? Okay, so historically, what I've seen, the number of quant related question is coming to around 30-35. Rest is theory, and theory is going to be big. When I'm saying theory is going to be big, the question is going to be big, but the concept might be very simple. They might give you a lot of unnecessary content in the question, so that you keep on reading and you waste your time. Okay, so that is what is going to be big game changer. I feel if people are able to read the content properly, they are able to understand which chapter it is coming from, what concept it is testing, and answer it, that is going to be a big game changer, especially for theory. Right, Chandan, I have answered your query. If I've missed anybody's question, kindly repost. I'll answer it right now. Okay, Venkatesh is having question. I've gone through the question bank of every reading. I felt it was tough, hence I got depressed. Okay, Venkatesh, I would suggest you reach out to this number and they will connect you to me, and let's see how I can guide you. Okay, reach out to this number which you see on the screen. WhatsApp on this number, and my team will help you to connect with me some suitable time, and we'll see how we can strategize something for you. Okay. How much we should take time for per question in exam? Sam is asking this query, uh, so that we can complete all the questions. See, ideally 2 minutes per question is what you would be getting. Okay, but if you're good in calculation, those 20-30 questions you would be able to do it fast. Then you can use that remaining time in your theory part. That is what ideally a lot of people who have cleared the exam, they do. Okay, Sam, 2 minutes per question. So when you're practicing, also make sure you don't give more than 2 minutes. Chandan, I'm answering to your question. Uh, do we have to remember the tables of F table, chi-square? No. No, none of the tables you have to remember. Only the Z table ka 90% numbers, 95% number, and 99%. These numbers you have to remember. Table they will give you in the exam if there is a question related to it. Don't worry about it. Yes, Shoaib, answering to your query, we do provide questions bank and we do provide mock also separately. So in case you have any concerns related to it, you can put this on the WhatsApp number, and that they will revert back to you. They do provide mock papers. Vihang, answering to your query, strategy to attempt the exam, like start with theory and then quant. Okay, so Vihang is asking any specific strategy that you can apply. The only thing is that this exam is going to be calculation. This exam is going to be computer based. Okay, now when you're going with a computer based, you will not be able to see the entire book or entire 100 questions in one go, which you had a luxury when you were solving in paper, right? When you were solving in paper, you in the first paper itself, you were in a position to see all the four questions, and you can take a decision which question to pick. But over here, it is going to take time. Okay, so ideally, depending upon your comfort level, my suggestion would be complete the calculation related questions first. Okay, look for those questions immediately and solve it. Okay, but the problem is you might have to go through all the question to come up with that number. Okay, for example, you started the exam and the first question is theory. You go to the next question, you go to the next question, then only you will be able to identify. That is the main problem. But if you're good with theory, calculation piece, complete that chunk properly, because you'll be more confident in getting the answer, and you'll be able to correlate those answers properly in the exam. Right, Vihang, I have tried to answer your query in the best possible manner. And are there any things we need to consider given that the exam is now on computer? Alek, yes, I have mentioned about that, Alek. When it was paper pencil, it was very easy because you could directly go into the last page, you can directly take into the middle, and you can see which is theory and which is calculation. It was easy for you to pick up the question fast. But in the computer based model, that would not be the luxury, and this is going to be same for everyone. Okay, so try to understand the question in first 1 or 2 seconds or 10 second maximum, whether you're going for this question or not. That is the strategy that will come into picture when you have solved so many questions. You start getting the gut feeling whether you can go for this question or not. Okay, so if you're not sure, then don't go ahead and just move to the next question. That is what I would suggest. Okay, Raj, okay, Raj, answering to your query, from the our portal where the question bank is available. See, I would suggest around 70% should be right when you go for a quiz. Your accuracy level should be at least 70 to 80%. Then it is a decent preparation method. Okay, Raj, I've answered your query. How much helpful it will be to try solving previous year's exam questions? Uh, I so first of all, the exact previous year exam questions are not available. Okay, institute doesn't share it with anyone. You might be getting some previous year question bank from some book. okay, that the FRM handbook is available, where the questions are available, some questions, not everything, but those are of 2008, 2009. Okay, if you're talking about sample paper, solve the latest sample paper. Okay, 21 and 20, that should be good enough. GARP sample paper, right, Sam? I've answered to your query. Alek, I've answered to your query. Shoaib, I have answered to your query. Any more queries, guys? Okay, perfect. In case you guys still have queries, you can put a WhatsApp on this number with your name, okay, and your location and which exam you're going, FRM level 1, July or May, and we'll try to help you as much as possible. Venkatesh is also having a query. Yes, Venkatesh, the question bank that we are providing is as per the exam, okay, and it does not include BT, so don't worry about it. And if you're able to, because our question bank is going to be 3000 plus questions, if you're able to solve those 3000 questions properly, okay, then you will be in a very good shape. I'm not saying 100% confident, because nobody can guess the exam difficulty level, but this is what people have solved and people have cleared the exam. So I can vouch on that behavior. Okay, so Venkatesh, I've answered to your query. Chandan, so Kaplan notes, so you're asking whether I should go for Kaplan notes and GARP question bank and Fintelligent question bank. GARP question bank is very easy. Right now they've started giving 10 questions after every chapter. So that will not be helpful. You can go through Schweger. Okay, in some chapters you can go through GARP ka material, GARP reading material. Okay, the chapter, and then you can use our question bank also. Okay, that will be enough for your preparation, because our question bank is having chapter wise questions, then you have important concept questions, then you have sectional test, and then you have mock papers. So each level you have the questions coming in. Okay, I've answered to your query, Chandan. Any other queries, guys? You can put it on the chat section. I'll be there for the next few minutes. In case you still have a query, you can put it on the WhatsApp number and we'll try to address it as soon as possible. Okay, perfect. No more queries. Then I'll close the session. Thank you very much for joining in. For tomorrow also we have a session for CFA students, and day after tomorrow we are keeping few sessions for FRM level 1 students. The book wise revision strategy, important concept. Okay, so do join us on YouTube live 9:30 p.m. India time. Okay, thank you guys.